Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video, folks. Once again in World of Warcraft, and this time around we have gained entry into Stranglethorn Vale. And so this time around we're going to be doing some quests here. I do need to pick up the quest, actually. That would be very useful for me. And discover the flight path so that next time around I don't have to deal with walking all the way here. We can just take a griffin and fly, you know. So let's quickly learn this, or I suppose you're learning it, I guess, to some extent. Let's pick up your quest. You have 2 of them, and we will carry on from here. Hopefully we don't get into too many shenanigans in this particular portion. I do remember there are some very difficult sections or portions of I suppose questing in this area. It is a area that'll take a lot of time, so I guess we'll be here for a while, potentially about 10 levels maybe, and I think then basically we get to what level? I'd say 39, 40 something. That's kind of what I'm sort of expecting to see and do. Yeah. Oh, hello. I forgot the horde also likes to come down this way. But yes, well, that's what we're doing. And yeah, I don't really remember exactly how difficult this area is. So it's going to be interesting to see how it relates now as compared to my memories. Or memories of this location and quest in here. Now, apparently, according to our whatchamacallit, according to Questy, there's meant to be a quest giver somewhere around here, which I don't see. Anyways, we're gonna move on. I'm looking at levels of creatures. I'm also looking for quest givers. Sometimes Questy isn't all that spot on with certain locations. It is good to have, to be fairly honest, in the sense of it kind of gives us a general direction, but it doesn't always get it spot on in that sense. There is the hunter whatever quest chain line, which I definitely want to do. And now I don't know how useful the items will be for my specific class. However, the important thing to keep in mind here is that the experience is actually quite good. I know it's good for the hunter class. And with that said, hunters don't really wear the same or use the same gear as we do. Oh, that tiger actually follows quite closely. So we'll pick up all the quests here that we have available to us, and we'll see how many times we died. We died a few times in the previous zone, but it wasn't all that bad, you know. It was, I'm going to be honest, and I'm not going to lie here, it felt tedious at times. I'm guessing this area will feel to some extent similar to that, although for some odd reason, although it's grindy as all heck, I like Stranglethorn Vale more than the previous zone. It's just something about it. I think one of the reasons I like it is because it's all like a forest type of thing. Like a, yeah, it's very foresty. There's wildlife. There's no undead, which is really weird because I do like the end zones with the undead.
See you around.
I don't Plaguelands and stuff like that. I do like those areas as well. Just don't like the area before us. The one that we did before. There's something about it that's I'm not quite sure what it is that makes me not like it as much. It's nothing to do with the undead, if I'm honest, because I do like the areas like what's it called? Plaguelands and stuff. I actually like that area. I'm thinking it's something related to the color palette, potentially also how grindy some quests feel like. Maybe possibly the rate at which some quest items
you.
drop. It just
What's
feels
on your
really,
mind?
really grindy. I'm not saying I don't like it. I do enjoy the area. It's just compared to the other zones that I'll be going through, it's one of my
Safe
least favorites, if that
travels.
makes sense.
You got my
In terms of
attention.
design. Oh, hey, yeah. Well, forgot about these things. These quests are going to be fun to complete. I do remember reading something
Watch your
about it
back.
in the guild
Great to
chat where
meet
people
you.
were looking for these chapters. So it'll be fun and interesting to see how we get along with this.
See you
I
soon.
don't know. I guess we'll be here for a while, so might as well pick it up. I'm having a look here at what I have quest-wise for dungeons and stuff. Basically, I've got 22 quests out of 25 available. I'm going to get rid of some stuff that I don't really care for. I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing here, but I guess we will find out eventually. And if we get rid of them, if we abandon some quests, we can always pick them up later. So I don't think I'm going to be going back into Nomergun anytime soon. Sad as it is, I would like to finish those quests. The dungeon quests do tend to give back a lot of experience, but with how long it is and tedious, I don't know. I don't know how many people are willing to do that. So I think for now we're done with Nomergun. It was nice whilst it lasted. It's sad that I didn't finish the quest. Maybe another day. So I'm just kind of having a look at what I have here to pick up. There are actually quite a few quests, and this is just the north part of Stranglethorn Vale. There's a lot more where this came from. So yeah, it's basically this whole peninsula thing that we need to do, and we're just in the northern part, so a lot of stuff, and it's gonna get a heck of a lot more difficult. I do need to, at one point, even if it's before we start questing there, I need to get a flight path to Booty Bay, which is at the bottom. I'm looking for other regions where I may want to move into. I think the region after this, I will be making it up. I'm not quite sure where I'm going after this, but I do always tend to kind of have a plan up to Stranglethorn Vale and then just make it up afterwards. So we'll see how things work out here. I'm looking at the levels for the quests. They do seem to escalate or increase in level quite significantly. So I'm hoping that there are plenty of in-betweeners, so to speak. I'm going to start with the tigers here. These are required creatures. So there are basically 3 variations of this quest that we have to do. One is for tigers, I believe. The other one is for panthers, and I'm trying to remember what third one is. Possibly, I think, raptors. So we basically start off by killing the baby. It's to do with proving your worth as a hunter, yada yada bloody bloody. We have to kill so many of these creatures, then we get moved on to the more difficult ones, and then basically the really difficult ones, or the more adults, or older ones basically, and then we have to kill what would be the ultimate version of these creatures, and I believe those might potentially be elites. So I know at some point in this quest there is a section of this quest basically. So right, let me go back to the beginning for those that don't know the game. There are basically 3 separate quests as it currently stands that ask us to do the same thing with different animals, basically just kind of kill. It's a kill quest. It's easy to do. And they ask you to kill different variations of the same creatures that are supposedly more advanced. At the end of them, you have to take out what would be like, the elder version of it, or the like the alpha of it. Now I think, and I know at some point they require a group, so I think those are elite. I might be wrong. I know this quest does culminate basically into people having to group up to kill difficult creatures. So what I'm getting at is when we get there, I'm going to say it right off the bat, I'm going to try and do it solo, just because I want to see how capable I am, what I can actually dish out damage wise, how far I can get. If I can do it, fine. If not, I'll take a death and then look for a group. This is probably something that you will see as a reoccurring thing in my gameplay. It's my way of testing my skill of the class that I'm playing in this game. It's just something I've always done, and because a lot of stuff is coming back to me, muscle memory and all that, I'm still gonna attempt to do that. And actually, you know, I enjoy doing it, so I don't mind the death. I don't mind the what's it called, the damage to the armor and equipment that I take. So the durability damage, basically. It's just what it is, and yeah, you'll see that sort of thing a lot from me. And if I were to play another class, I'd probably do the same thing. Do you know what? Now that I think about it, as a hunter, you can probably use your pet to tank. So I feel like, again, it depends how difficult they are. I remember them as being difficult, or the end of the quest as being difficult, but not insane. In the sense of most people will do it in a group, but if you're skilled, if you're good, you can solo it. It won't be easy, but it is doable. Now, I feel like classes that would benefit from this massively would be the hunter that can use their pet to tank, and potentially the warlock. The warlock is really powerful if you know how to play it. I don't remember how the warlock is played at this point in time in the game, but basically warlock relies on placing dots and getting them to stack up to do a significant amount of damage. So basically, it's kind of like a diesel engine. It takes a while to warm up, but once it gets going, the damage that a warlock does is nuts. So basically, that's what I'm getting at. And if you use the Void Walker to tank it, it's probably doable. Okay, we're not doing too bad here. Honestly, this is not bad at all. And well, we haven't had a death yet. Although this is really early into Stranglethorn Vale, if I'm honest. Yeah, and I do like I said, I do like this zone. This is probably one of my favorite zones in the original World of Warcraft. Oddly enough, I also like... Actually, I like Stormwind quite a bit. I do like Darnassus, but not an area that I tend to go very often. Don't get me wrong, the color palette is beautiful for Darnassus. It's just not a place I'm often inclined to go to. Another area that I like is, like I said, the Plaguelands. And see, that's to do with undeads. But again, the color palette. And do you know what? If you think about it, they tend to have a very similar color palette, like the redness, purpliness type of thing. And I guess that's just how I think about certain zones. Another one I like is actually 1,000. I think it's called 1,000 Needles. It's very interesting in terms of how do I word this? Geology. That's the word. Like it's really cool. I guess for those that haven't played it, one day I will go and show you. It's definitely a cool area. And going back to like just thinking about 1,000 Needles and how it changes in Cataclysm. That's one of the things I liked about Cataclysm, how it made use of what was already in existence and redesigned sections of the map. And like 1,000 Needles is one of the zones, if that's what it's called. I think it's 1,000 Needles. I've not been in that direction anyways. But I guess the old World of Warcraft players will know what I mean. But yeah, it starts out like a desert type of thing with like cylindrical cliffs that go upwards, similar to what you would expect to see in the Great Canyon, and in Cataclysm. That all gets flooded, which is pretty cool. So that was one of the things that kind of had me go, wow, that is a big change. Saying that though, like, Cataclysm did change the structure, the architecture of a lot of zones. I suppose on the bright side, because I picked up so many quests here at the beginning, you know, wherever I go, I bump into one. So I'm not specifically aiming for a specific quest to complete. I'm just basically running around killing things as long as they are on my quest. As I do work through this, I will probably end up completing most likely complete certain quests, leaving me to travel between zones to seek other zones to complete quests in. So that's kind of the way I do it. It just gives me that freedom of choice as to where I go. I'm not following a compass, I'm not following a set path, I'm just basically going from one creature to another as long as it is part of my quest. So that's the way I'm looking at it as it is. Basically, if there's something near me that is part of my quest, I will play around with it and kill it, really. So we have another young panther. Before we do tango with it, might as well do some healing, get some mana up. I don't know what else we can get into as far as problems, so I do want to be on the safe side here. Okay, so this is where I'm at. There are, if I'm honest, certain quests I don't remember, so I might need to refresh my memory. But these ones with the fauna is not that bad, so it's nice to be here again. It's nice to be doing this again. Thinking about it, I do actually need a helmet of sorts. I am level 30 and I don't have anything to put on my head. Once I do get a helmet, that would definitely increase the amount of armor that I get. And I guess it would also add to my survivability as well. Okay, this is a level 31 panther, young panther, let's be specific. Again, this is kind of nice in the sense that it makes me want to get a hunter. These are things you can tame. I do wonder though, if you can tame the creature at the end of this way, the creatures, or yeah, a creature. I don't know. I don't know if it's a single creature or you have to do one of each for each individual creature that you're killing, basically. But I do wonder if you can actually tame the elite, and if so, how you go about doing it. Probably need a good healer to keep you alive whilst you're doing that. That might be a way. But going back to the hunter topic, I kind of want a hunter. You can have some nice creatures as hunters. I don't know though. If I were to get a hunter, I wouldn't know how to spec him or her. I haven't really decided on gender yet, but that is a potential idea for me. Again, I don't know. No certain pets fulfill certain roles, if that makes sense. So I don't know the roles of pets and which ones for DPS, which ones for crowd control, which ones for various other types of actions. But if I do get a hunter, I'm thinking a night elf. To me, in my mind, a night elf is synonymous with being a hunter. Plus, that would give me a chance to play around in Darnassus as well, which, again, as I said, is an area that I do personally like. Okay, I need to be careful here. We do have casters, and these guys seem to be a bit of a pain. They are not that easy to deal with. And yeah, their level does add to the difficulty. So caution is important here. We're gonna get some drinks just to keep us going. So I can take on the fighters. I don't have an issue with them. It's the medicine men. They tend to heal. And so what I'm struggling with is taking them down before I run out of mana or health, for that matter, really. There's two things that are taking me down. Suppose I can try and interrupt it, but if I don't kill them straight after the interrupt, then the problem I find myself in, okay, we've got a medicine, two medicine men, that is escalated really quickly. I am stunned. Let's see if I can get out of this scenario. I am going to try and drop aggro by running away, if I can do that. And hopefully not run into the young panthers. Dude, how far are you going to follow me? Ha. Okay, he's going back. That escalated pretty quickly. Maybe at some point in the future I'll be able to take multiples of these. Oh, I see what happened. So this dude spawned on top of me. Did you now? Mr. Medicine Man. You nearly had me. You were close, but not close enough. And now it's my turn.
That's still recharging.
Suppose I could do with some better gear. I am using what I have earned. At this point, normally, when I used to level up, I would go onto my main that was, to some extent, minted. And I would be scouring, searching the auction houses for gear and equipment that I could use on my new character. And that would make such a big difference in leveling. Luckily, unfortunately, whatever you want to, however way you want to look at it, I don't have that option. So I'm playing literally from the very beginning as a new player, which I'm not sad about, to be honest. And I was asked by somebody that knows me why I didn't retrieve my old account. And yes, I could have done that. I'm going to be honest and say I don't remember the account details. I don't remember what email it was made on. I don't remember absolutely anything. And yes, I could have retrieved that account. That's totally a possibility. I would have, if I really wanted to, I would have found a way. But I don't want to. I want to start this game from fresh, as a fresh player, with a fresh character, with a fresh mindset. I don't want what I had, if that makes sense. Which is funny because I spent a lot of time on this game. Especially back in them days. Obviously, that would now be known as retail. But yeah, if I'm going to play retail, I'll definitely be using this account. And so, as a result, it'll just be, I suppose, a fresh account. I think I have a character. When I did attempt to play one of the DLCs, I think it was the one with the Illidari, but I can't remember what it was called. I attempted to play that a bit. Didn't do too well on the channel. For some odd reason, this series has done quite good for the channel. So I'm carrying on with it. People seem to be enjoying this content, so I'm happy to make it. And it's one of those things, and in situations where I'm enjoying it too, it gives me a break from all the other type of usual content, and yeah, it keeps my mind stimulated. I'm learning new things, relearning new things. I'm sure there are changes in this version of Classic as compared to the one I played, and so I'm having to learn about those changes, which isn't a bad thing. I like it. Change sometimes is good, but they did do a good job of keeping it keeping it similar. They didn't change too much. The changes they made are actually not bad changes. For example, the looking for group system. I like the way it is. It doesn't solve the problem. It's a tool to be used to find a potential group, the keyword being potential, and I like that. It doesn't just basically chuck you in a group. It's you know, in the sense of, say, when you want to do a dungeon, it knows, the system knows you need a tank, a healer, and 3 DPS. It mixes them together. You know, what people go to looking for group, use the tool, and it just clumps them together randomly. It gives you a list of who's wanting to do it, basically, as I understand it, so do correct me if I'm wrong. And then it's up to each individual to do their own thing, come or ask about joining or forming a group. So it's just kind of, I like that. I like that it adds to the difficulty. And then the other thing I really like that they've changed, which is really, really cool, is how boosts work or don't work, if that makes sense. A boost, I suppose, now with this version is more a case of you're being run through the dungeon not for XP but to get gear. Basically makes the gear grind easier, but not the leveling grind. So I like that as well. That's another key element I can praise the game for. And do you know what? I hope it stays like that. I don't want this aspect to change. Okay, so basically what happened is I buffed the dude with my wonderful buff, and he gave me water breathing, which is absolutely useless. Now I remember, it's a funny little story here. I remember either witnessing a conversation or somebody saying, I don't really recall the details, but basically there was this dude saying that when people give him good buffs, he likes to help and return the favor back, but he'll do it with a useless buff like water breathing, which has really no use, especially seeing as most of the storyline takes place on dry land. So basically that's what's happened to me. I gave the person a good buff out of goodwill, not expecting anything in return, but he did return us a buff, and it's the most useless buff in the game. It's water breathing. For 10 minutes, basically, we can stay submerged without actually drowning. Yeah. We're not underwater, so not really useful to me. So it's been a bit of a long day. We are still cracking on with it. It's basically recently, and this is not a complaint, I'm just sharing my or a part of my life with people that are interested in hearing it, I guess. It's been really interesting. So recently, since I started playing World of Warcraft, my time amongst other things and day-to-day life has been divided between playing the game, recording it, then editing it, and that's all I've done. I've actually slept very little, just to kind of get the ball rolling, turn it to a point where I can actually record, create content, and get it to a steady stream of WoW related content. It took a while, took a bit of effort, some sacrifice, but like I said, from the original previous videos and the streams, people seem to enjoy it, and so I'm glad that people are enjoying this dude. Alright, I'm gonna walk around the back. There are too many in there for me to deal with, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play it smart here, and we're gonna basically scavenge around the outskirts. Oh, okay, what's going on there? Somebody pulled a runner. Let's see if we can find who ran away. English. Oh, a Draenei. We can try and invite her to the group. Okay, well, have it your way. I mean, you did run away from that dude. I probably would have done the same. Oh, thank you for the buff. This one's useful. Might as well return the favor. And you disappeared mighty quickly. Okay, I'm not gonna catch up with you, am I? So now I'm chasing this tune. There we go. I don't like being in debt. So I've returned the buff. Yeah, that was weird. Almost stalker-like. I chased a female Draenei across the field to give her something, and that something was a buff. Because she didn't want to be in my party. How weird it sounds if you think about it. Anyways, I'm sticking to this. I want to complete this particular quest. It feels like it's a difficult, challenging one, so I can do the panthers and tigers and whatever else a lot easier. This one has its challenge, so I actually want to do this one first because of that. The other thing that annoys me about these things is these characters, or NPCs, better said, is that they run off. And so there's a chance that they will run into a group of NPCs, and if they do that, for those that don't know, it's actually problematic because it will aggro the others. And this is a quest that should be completed now. Yeah, we got that. Okay. Well, at least we made some progress. I just need to be careful with my pulls. I don't want to find myself in a bad position. So I'm kind of waiting for respawns here and hoping that the respawns are the ones I need and in the right place. That's like double lottery, double RNG kind of thing. Kind of difficult to predict what's going to spawn where. And so far I think I need pretty much everything. So I'm in a good place. Hey, look, another paladin. He's brave. Saying that, I don't know what level he is, but yeah, he's just running through this field where we have all these guys. Okay, he's not really aggroed a lot. Oh, do not run away. Get back here. 6 out of 15. At least we have just to kill them, so that is not bad at all. Personally, not a fan. Okay. Oh, we pulled both of them. This is not good. I'm going to pull a runner here. I don't have enough to be able to take both of them out, or even one for that matter. They are just going to heal each other. I'll run out of resources before I do anything, really. Young Panther, it's here. Might as well. It's like seeing a delicious cheeseburger on the ground. You know, you're not just going to walk past it. Might as well pick it up and eat it. You know, otherwise it would be just a bad, poor waste of a very good and delicious cheeseburger. So I guess we take the cheeseburger. There we go. So since I started playing, that kind of gets one of the quests completed, by the way. Since I started playing the Paladin initially, I was not that confident with this class and or character, as all of my other original characters were ranged. Personally speaking, I prefer playing a ranged character, simply because I do like to partake in the end game content. As a ranged character, you're always at a distance and you get a good view of what's going on the battlefield, and so you can actually avoid a lot of stuff, a lot of dangers. Whereas with a melee class, like the Paladin, like the Warrior, you're actually up close and personal with the characters you're fighting, or NPCs that you're fighting, bosses, whatever. And a lot of bosses have quite bad or like hurtful AoEs that do a lot of damage, and sometimes that stresses me out, just in the principle of I don't want to die. And you know, if you don't have a good healer in the group, you're gonna die. Whereas with a ranged unit, a ranged class, you can actually do stuff from afar. So I think what I like about this Paladin class is, as a healer, obviously you are a ranged unit. I think what we're going to do for now is we're going to leave that alone. We're going to move on to other things. I was going to go for that Panther, but I guess not. Yeah, I feel like those NPCs there are well clumped together, and you know, I do have choices, so we're gonna move on to something better and hopefully more productive for me. But yeah, going back to that, it took me a while to get used to being a melee class. I could probably get used to it. Do I enjoy it? I don't know. I'm still undecided. Granted that I do the quests as a melee unit, but I do heal dungeons as a ranged unit. And when I do get into dungeons and get the opportunity to be at a range and just healing people, I'm going to be honest and say I personally like it. I think it really suits me. So yeah, I seem to be comfortable with the range units just for that reason. It's just one of those things that I don't have to worry too much about what abilities the boss is using and having to dodge them, because I'm generally far enough where I'm not in any bother. Now that is one medicine man. That is a nice bear. That is a very nice bear. That is a very high level player. That's level 70. So 10 levels plus, higher than me, it registers as deadly. So instead of having a number for where the level would be shown on the icon, it's a skull basically. In other words, if I mess with it, I ain't getting out alive. I do like the logic. Makes a lot of sense in my mind. And clearly it made a lot of sense in Blizzard's mind as well. Also, on the topic of Blizzard, I am looking forward to the new Diablo game. I really want to play that. It looks a lot better than the previous Diablo expansion or story or game. I think it was Diablo 3. This one looks really good, the fourth one. And I did initially download Diablo Immortals and played around with it a bit. Obviously didn't get much of a chance to get into it properly because I have been quite busy. But stuff like that I do like, and I now remember that I started playing Diablo 2 but didn't actually get very far with it. Might do some gameplay for that as well. Again, Diablo is a very complex game, so yeah, one of the things I like about it. But Diablo's a bit, at least the second one and the old ones, they're kind of single player, and I do like the social aspect of gaming. And I think maybe that's why I didn't play as much. I think I've been spoiled by social games like Conan Exiles, an example, World of Warcraft. So yeah.
I can't cast that yet.
Okay, we're doing okay here. So I do try and interrupt the heals if I can.
I'm out of range.
It kind of works in two ways. He doesn't heal, and it somehow, for a limited time, seems to reset almost. Oh my lord, that is a full-on heal. I was gonna say it almost resets the AI. So because was it? Yeah. It kind of. Oh, this is not good. I'm gonna have to run or die. I don't think I'll be able to finish this guy off very quickly. That is not a nice place to be. Am I gonna make it out? Nope. Yep. First death in this region. Yeah. Many more to come. Many more to come. At least I've completed a quest. I don't know. I'm thinking now. It is about time I start thinking about ending the video. Starting a new one. Just trying to figure out what would be the best place to do that. I would like to finish another quest if possible. That way it just feels like I've been productive and not just died. I mean, saying that, I only died once. Could have been worse. Okay, I was trying to think of ways it could have been worse, but I guess it could have been worse in that my gear would have needed repairing, which then becomes an expense. Okay. So I'm back here. I'm not sure how to proceed about this, where things are. We're gonna try and pop our head up here. I think I can take the medicine man on and come out with my head high, but I will have to kite him away from the hut. We know there's a patrol wandering about there, potentially. So we'll get his attention and bring him this way. It's a good thing it's not a ranged unit, because otherwise that would have massively complicated my life. Yeah, so the problem here I'm having is the fact that these guys like to run, and I don't know if they, or if the AI for these NPCs select an area where there are fellow NPCs, or if it's random. It feels very random to me as to how the AI selects where the NPC is running. It almost feels like it's trying to run in the opposite direction of where you are facing, but not always. So that might be a part of the code, I guess. Yeah, we can take these dudes on. So we have the Curzon jungle fighters. There's one to my right. He's another fighter, so we can definitely have a go at him. They do a decent amount of damage. It's a good thing he didn't run towards the other one, otherwise I would have been in a lot of trouble. And yeah, we're fine. We survived this particular encounter. Let's get some heals in, get some mana up, because we're gonna need it. Don't think we can actually. Can we? I'm gonna try and take this guy with what I've got. Trying to be a bit greedy with my resources and what I use for fights, if possible. I just need to be careful not to take greed into stupidity, where I basically refused myself the ability to regen mana just to save a couple of coppers on potions. Okay, we've killed 9 out of 15. There is that guy in front of us doing his own thing. I'm wondering if I should give him a hand. It does seem to be a hunter. Now, part of me wants to group up with that person. The other part of me doesn't want to do that because I get more XP. That's how my mind works. If it was a friend, I'd be more than happy to do that. But, well, yeah, we're not friends. And, yeah, I'll let him do his own thing. Okay. We're doing fine here. We're doing just fine. If I can, see, I'm going to pull the medicine man. We do need some items off of them. They do seem to be quite rare with how frequent they drop, with the drop frequency. But the question I'm having here is, how do I pull one without pulling the other? Huh. Oh, right, hold on a bit. There's actually a chance to pull 3. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna run away now. My curiosity got the better of me, and I suppose it's cost me, but not too dearly. And part of me wanted to look back to see if both of them are following me, but then the other part kind of said, no, don't look back, just run away. They are both after you. It's just a weird thing on how my mind was working at that moment in time. So I just basically took the chicken route and ran away. But I did. I was quite curious to see if there was 2 of them following me. The thing is, if I would have looked back, I was afraid of botching it up and running the risk of having them catch up with me, which would not have been fun. But I guess that was confirmation. Oh, there's a lot of people here all of a sudden. I might be able to take advantage of this and actually complete some quests. And not just what was the word? I'm trying to think. Not just basically work around the edge. That's what I'm doing right now. I don't want to get into too much trouble. I don't want too many deaths. So to keep safe, I'm basically just kind of picking things off from the edge. Okay, I think you've aggroed 2 of them. I would like to help you, but I don't know if that's what you want to do. No, you're just passing through. That's fine. I could potentially pick one of these guys up. This is what's interesting is when they follow someone, then run back to their original position. If you try and attack them, they will evade. So basically, whilst they're resetting, you cannot hit them. You're just wasting your abilities. Now, the reason I mentioned that is I used to find this really frustrating when I played. I get why the mechanic is there and stuff, but personally speaking, I didn't like that whole evade. Nowadays, I suppose, being a bit more mature-minded, I don't mind it. It's just a mechanic in the game. Not much I can do about it. But yeah, just... Oh, hello. Well, you're not on my hit list, and you are significantly higher in level than I am. Now the question is, can I or can't I? I'm looking good with regards to the amount of damage I'm doing to you, and or versus the amount of damage I'm actually taking. I think we can do you. That sounded really wrong, but you know what I meant. Okay, we're doing just... Oh, that's a bad pull. Run away. Okay. So it's nice that the server is live and it's active, and I get to see a lot of players roaming around. I really, really like that. It's actually something that often makes me smile and chuckle, if I'm honest. It's fun to be nosy and watch what others are doing, and I don't know why. I guess it's human nature. Okay. Someone was getting greedy there. I thought the hunter pulled another one as well. No, must have been someone else. Anyway, we'll deal with this dude right here. I guess in a way we're also helping the hunter. I'm just trying to grab whatever I can for the quest that I have. So I don't mean if I accidentally pulled or targeted something that someone else was going for, that was not intentional. I guess I'm just trying to get what I can, count my blessings, and take advantage of the situation in which there are several people here doing the exact same thing, meaning the clumped up groups of NPCs tend to be a bit more split. So basically, I'm not just scavenging. That was the word I wanted to use before. Scavenging on the outside of the perimeter where these NPCs spawn, which is what I was doing before, because it's quite slow. Alright. Get another one of these melon juices. It's delicious. Do you know what? They should put in prune juice as a mana healing potion. I think that'd be well cool.
It's too far away.
Now, we are behind this building here. I am thinking, hoping, praying, expecting it to be clear. So when this guy runs away, hopefully he does not run into a dangerous area. Because, yeah, that would be sad. I'll give you a hand. Why not? I'm nice like that. Now, remember when we were on, I guess, what you would now call the retail servers. There was a thing, right? And I found this really frustrating. I don't really understand how the mechanics of it worked, but you would aggro a creature in an area where you were questing, and many others were questing at the same time, and you would aggro a creature, you would tag it, but then someone else would come along, or someone else was in the zone, and somehow tag it straight after you, or very close in time with you, and they would then get the creature. So basically it would become grayed out for you, and basically the creature was aggroed onto you, so you had no choice but to fight it, but you would be giving the kill count to that player that tagged it. I'm not quite sure how it worked, but something along those lines. I remember how frustrating that was, and that actually was in Outlands. Actually, that was a very common thing in Outlands. I think they fixed it by Wrath of the Lich King. Okay, so we have 2 healers. Let's see how bad they are together. Okay, we are not doing too well here. So that's why... Oh, shoot. That's why you don't want 2 medicine men together. Well, not at this point. Maybe later on when I can do more damage. But I can't do enough damage to actually take both of them out. Or drain their mana. In the sense of having them heal each other until they run out of mana. Obviously, that is probably not the best way of going about it, but you know, it does work. It's just not very efficient. Okay, and all that commotion all of a sudden has gone silent. There aren't very many people here questing anymore. It's amazing. They must have been grouped together. That's the only logic that I can think. Or maybe there's another section of this quest. I don't quite know. Okay, I'm having a look. So that is a quest. That that question mark. I don't know how to get to it. I've tried looking around. Obviously, that was before I had the mount. So what did I pull? 2 fighters. I can deal with that. I will actually accept this challenge and work on it. It's the medicine men that do it for me. And that is why healers can be quite unpleasant. Especially in PvP. The other thing I was thinking, right, okay, this came, because I mentioned the word PvP here, and my mind works in mysterious ways. So PvP led to a concept here. I'm thinking, right, before of the release of Wrath of the Lich King, of trying to convince my guild to raid the Horde. I don't know how feasible that is, or practical, but I thought that would be a good way to celebrate the Wrath of the Lich King, or to celebrate the end of the Burning Crusade and the beginning of the Wrath of the Lich King. So I'm thinking one of the big Horde cities. I'm going to put the idea across when I get to level 70. We'll see how things work. Hopefully we do get a good raid party, and I'm thinking potentially start with a small village, go around killing anything and everything. If players want to PvP, then let them PvP, but basically just kill any and every NPC, then move on to a, I'd say, medium-sized village, and then take one of the big cities. I don't know if people would like that, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to do that. So I will put the idea forth. This can be a guild event. Alternately, we can spam in the chat. The problem with doing that, I don't really know how big the what's it called, Horde faction actually is on the server. But if it is big and we have people playing both sides of the both factions, they will go and warn the Horde about the raid if you do use people from outside of the guild. So obviously, to create a raid, you have to spam and get people to be interested in and invite them to the group. So I feel like that might potentially ruin the element of surprise. But if it comes down to that, then that's what I will do. But I definitely want to do that. I think it would be so much fun. And it doesn't really matter how many times I die. It's just a good old day out where we take on the Horde villages and try to create as much chaos. And personally speaking, what I want to go for is the auction house vendors. That can be quite annoying because that is a money-making system for the game. Everybody uses that, and not being able to sell your rubbish to the auction house or your crafted things to the auction house is really annoying. I remember when the Horde used to do that to the Alliance on the server that I played. How I found it funny, but also frustrating because I had to wait for them to come back up or do it another time. So, but I think it's frustrating, but not in a bad way, if that makes sense. It's funny at the same time, or at least to me it is, anyways. There we go. I'm nice like that. I'll give you, mage, a nice hand here. Not too much though, you know. We want to stay mysterious there. I mean, you were cutting it close, buddy. Alright. The medicine men have respawned. Okay, so my typing is a bit slow at the moment. So is my brain. I am going to just admit that and admit to the fact that I am feeling the exhaustion. So that is, I'm not excusing myself, but that is the reason. I cannot tell you how tiring I found the last couple of days. Not bad, but enjoyable, but still tiring. So let's see what we have in here. Again, I'm being nosy. It may potentially cost me the... Okay, maybe not. We're gonna run away. Okay, he's dealing with it. I'll give you a hand, because I'm nice. So, yeah, going back to what I'm doing right now. Back in the day, when somebody came to help you like that, you always ended up worrying that you basically have spent all your resources to kill an NPC that someone else didn't initially tag but got the kill count for. So you get very defensive and frustrated when somebody would approach an NPC you were fighting doing what I'm doing. This doesn't seem to be the case now, so it's actually quite nice that that has been addressed. I don't know if many people will remember that. I guess that goes way back, to be honest. And this place is all of a sudden empty. I like how we get like waves of people just coming in, slaughtering the NPCs, doing the thing, and going off. These NPCs definitely have earned their paycheck. I will admit to that. It must be tough being in their shoes. I would not want to be there. But you know what? Another thought. I'm not a PvP player, but I will play a bit of PvP in World of Warcraft. So, on that topic, I might, once I get to level 70, do some PvP just for fun. Okay? I'm not going to do it competitively. I'm going to do it just for pure fun. Might build a PvP set. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, that is totally something I might do. Luckily, there's only one medicine man here. So with that said, let's whack him across the face. Get him killed and hopefully get the item that I need. And that's the problem. I've killed quite a few of these things, but they need to drop a specific item. And as far as I can see, I'm not really lucky with that. Alright. This sawmill is kind of empty. I don't want to go into the house. The house is a house of problems, house of horrors. I will go around the back of it and pray that we have something to do. Come on. Please, please. Nah. Okay, there's a medicine man inside. He's by himself. Quick, get him out. Let's run around the back of the house where things should be safer. And we can talk here just after this bush. Or behind this bush. Who knows? People might not see us. The other thing I was going to say. In World of Warcraft, certain walls are, from what I've seen so far, suggestion. In that they are physically there, you can't walk past them. But somehow, NPCs, and even you, can actually aim through them if you are a ranged unit. So, very, very interesting. There's a glitch in the Matrix, basically. In WoW's Matrix, even. Okay. Please do not heal. Please go down. Quick, 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 quick. There we go. So, Jungle Remedy 6 of 7. That is what I am after. And that is what is still keeping me here. From what I'm seeing, people are coming and going, even if they are in groups. So they must be getting the items a lot quicker than me, which kind of tells me about my luck with regards to drop rates in this game. I am most definitely not lucky. I don't dislike the grind. It does help. It does have its purposes, and it does help me level up in a slower way. But we're leveling up, and I suppose, ooh, this is not good. That is not what I wanted to see. I'm gonna try and take one of these guys down. Ah, that's fun. Of course. Okay, run him off. There's hope yet. Yes, there is. Whack him. Quickly. Nope. Not what I needed. And I have run out of mana. So I guess it's now a case of blow for blow. I think I might potentially be able to drain his mana just by healing myself and whacking him across the face. Okay. Try and do some more damage to him. He has less than half a bar of mana. Right, we're coming on top so far. Okay. Come on. There we go. Got it. And that is my quest complete. That is nice to see. A lot of... Oh, okay, what's going on? Oh, that guy made me panic a bit. Oh, shoot. That's bad for me. I think I'm going to end the video here because this is going to be my death. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe, folks.